Well, I was looking into this LSA, and like you said, this curriculum is nothing but a cesspool. That's what I call it, as a cesspool.
A porta potty.
Yeah. But what are they teaching? They are teaching your kids values that you don't teach. They're teaching your kids to go against his or her own family and community. So this is the kind of stuff that we get so caught up in the names on these kids. Yeah, they're feeder schools for the Harvards and the Yales and the Princetons. But again, what are they teaching your children? They're teaching your children how to be woke. Not only that, teaching that girls can be boys and boys can be girls. Again,
we see this gender ideology being pushed all across the country, and we have it being pushed firsthand right here in Maryland. So when you think about this type of stuff, this sexualization of children, just gender ideology being pushed, you think it's only the public schools. And we talked about this multiple times on the show. Get your kids out of public school. Well, it's happening in private school too. Here in Maryland, a very prestigious private school, St. Paul's School for Boys, is holding and you can see it here. They're holding an event belonging in gender and sexual identity. They've pushed this event among other private schools, one in the area, McDonough Middle School here in Maryland, very prestigious school. They have a high school as well. I mean, this school is ranked countrywide, nationally, for being amongst the elite in private schools. And this is what they're doing here. It says, please let me know if you're interested. They have on here multiple, and you can see these slides. It says here the LSA Inclusive Teaching Initiative. And you see this wheel, it's the wheel of privilege. This is the second slide. Do we have that available?
Right here.
It's called the Wheel of Privilege, and it has 5 identities on here. This is what they're teaching middle school and high school kids. Identities you think about most often, identities you think about least often. And it has on here gender, sex, sexual orientation. I mean, is this what our children need to learn? I want to get your thoughts on this, Shelley.
Well, I was looking into this LSA, and like you said, this curriculum is nothing but a cesspool. That's what I call it, as a cesspool.
A porta potty.
A porta potty. And you mentioned some words, KJ, that I took some notes earlier about these schools, why this is coming to private schools. We say get your kids out of public school. Get your kids out of many schools, okay? Public, private, maybe some even parochial schools, depending on what they are teaching. But you can use a few words. You say elite and prestigious. And I thought about this earlier because I wrote down these quote-unquote name brand schools, and I kind of liken them to the Harvards, the Yales, who are also gone woke. So are these private schools. It's not about these, again, we get caught up in, my child goes to this school because of the name or the brand or how much it costs, whatever. They might be proxies for income. Okay, fine. But what are they teaching? They are teaching your kids values that you don't teach. They're teaching your kids to go against his or her own family and community. So this is the kind of stuff that we get so caught up in the names on these kids. Yeah, they're feeder schools for the Harvards and the Yales and the Princetons. But again, what are they teaching your children? They're teaching your children how to be woke. Not only that, teaching that girls can be boys and boys can be girls. Again, dicks cannot be chicks.
Yeah, and not only that, but you're paying for it, paying upwards of $20,000 a year and so on. I mean, for them to tell, and again, these schools mostly most people that go here are white kids, and they're teaching your child that they are in a privileged group. That's social identity groups that hold unearned privilege in society. And then they may be teaching your black child that they're in a marginalized group. This is all on these, this is what is part of this curriculum. Social identity groups that are disenfranchised and exploited. I mean, what's going on here, T?
It started with the trophy kids. You remember the trophy kids, they give everybody a trophy just because for participation trophy. Now we're leading to something like this is a whole nother level right here. Mm-hmm. But it's going along with the times. I'm not surprised by anything. Private schools, woke. It's so funny how people are saying they're woke, but they're not awake. They're not seeing what is going on right in their faces. And this is now, we've been saying they want our children.
Yep.
And now they're going to dig a little deeper until they get them. All of them.
And I want to get your thoughts on this, Yana, because part of this on here, they're teaching these children to identify as something. This is supposed to be very important. What identifies you do you think most often of? What identities do you think most least of? What identities have strongest effects on how you perceive yourself? I mean, what does this have to do with school? What?
It's insane. I mean, these people, they're perverts. If they want to ask kids these questions, they shouldn't be asking them. Like, how would you even come to an idea to talk with an underage person about these things? Like, it's creepy.
Because
honestly, it's creepy. An adult person talking to children about these things, and then it's Marxists are everywhere.
Right?
This is their religion.
Everywhere. And they're infiltrating everything right now. The whole world, honestly. So, you know, if you heard about the Pope,
Right.
that
There you
he approved
Same-sex marriages
blessing.
and
Well,
yeah.
it was, they could bless a same-sex couple. It wasn't like that they're trying to say, oh, no, it's not marriage. It's just if the same-sex couple comes to church, they can receive the blessing. But it's in the wording. Like, it's one more step, and it's going to be marriage.
Yeah,
It's
right.
basically allowing and saying that it's okay. And this whole idea, you know, God is just love. You know, I hear it from religious,
is their
people who
religion.
consider themselves religious. They would say stuff like that. Even Catholics, I hear it from them. No, I'm sorry, there are rules and laws, and the Bible still states very specific rules and laws about these types of behaviors. And it's not to hate people, it's to say that these behaviors are not beneficial to society.
No, I mean, and speaking of, I mean, and this is what they're pushing. They have these sessions that they're doing. Again, this is St. Paul's School for Boys is holding this for middle school up to high school. One session, they're going to show a movie and tells the story of a family that experiences immigrant struggles, generational trauma, LGBTQ plus acceptance in their family, and complex family dynamics, all the while trying to save the fate of the world by navigating through multiverses.
Don't we have enough faggots as it is? Can't we just?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I meant to say it, but I didn't mean to say it. But I meant to say it. But I mean, this is a boys' school, and they're teaching them how to be other
Because this is
things.
their agenda. This is what they want in
We
their
have enough of them.
world.
We have enough already.
When like this is their religion, right? And let's just say in general, if you have a religion or whatever your value system is, you want to transmit that to your children. Well, this is their value system. This is their religion. They're not transmitting to their children per se. They're transmitting to all of you who are paying.
But we're not allowed to do that. You know, if we go to school and you can't even pray at some schools,
Right.
you know, they don't want us to transmit our religion.
I know.
But they are trying to do that with our children. It's
And
ridiculous.
you got many parents who are paying for this.
Right.
And it's not just going to be at the St. Paul's School for Boys in McDonough. They have other private schools here that it's going to infiltrate in that network. It's going to infiltrate in
It's
that
coming
network.
to those Catholic schools.
Here's another. It says here, another session will cover the unfairness and inequalities in the justice system. Like, why are you teaching my son this? This is what if I don't push that at home?
These kids, they don't know the basic facts about the history of the United States.
No.
But they know.
Right.
They will say things like, oh, our justice system is unfair. Even though they don't even know what the heck they're talking about. What
They don't even know the three branches of government.
Yeah, exactly. They may not even know who was the first president of the United States.
They may know the president now.
Yeah, right. But I hear from these kids, oh, our justice system is not fair. Oh, women, they're not, getting the same treatment or the same pay. They're getting fed this constant.
Yeah, listen to this. It says here, we will go into greater depth of how this unfairness creates inaccurate statistics in minority groups and the effect the abuse of systemic power and authority can have on a community. Our movie will mirror these themes by sharing the story of an African American man falsely convicted of a crime in his fight against the legal system.
What movie is this?
Meanwhile,
I want to watch this movie. I want to see.
yeah, they don't say the name.
Yeah,
This is a different sessions that they're going to break out in. They're going to show these different. I don't know if it's a movie. It's probably something that they created within this cult that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. Would any of you be okay with your child?
Meanwhile, China is teaching their boys how to empty clips and how to shoot.
Meanwhile, I follow Russian news, like Russian social media and stuff like that. They're doing patriotism stuff every single day. Like, they're teaching kids to be patriotic, to care about their, legacy, to create greater future for themselves. Family values are being promoted constantly in that world.
That's why.
But it's the same thing over there. They're going for very young. They're teaching patriotism, and actually Christianity too. They have priests going into kindergartens and elementary schools teaching Christianity now, which was unthinkable during the Soviet Union.
Right.
And here it's the opposite. Yeah. If you want to train your kids to be a certain way, to become an army, you go young.
The children. So 40 years from now, I hate to see if any type of
40 years
war
from now, this might
breaks
be,
out.
we might be the old
done.
Soviet Union,
We're
and
done.
we might need to go east to go to Russia because they might be more like America.
I'm going to make sure my children go to Russia. My next 3 generations are going to be in Russia.
Right, and just the person that's doing this is a guy named Ian Golash. He's a self-identified communist and a history teacher
They don't hide
at some
Gay as
school.
fuck. Look at his face.
And he reportedly told
Been
students,
fucked a couple of times. I'm sorry.
oh my God. And he reportedly told students that identifying as straight is offensive.
Yeah, he's gay.
He's so gay.
Yeah, he's gay.
This is what they're telling. This is what they're telling. So you can't. Where's the thought? Where's the thing about know your truth, learn your truth? If I'm heterosexual, that's offensive.
And these people used to say, like, what does our lifestyle have to do with you? Like, how are we bothering
Now
you?
we see how.
It's like, now they're saying that we are offensive.
Right.
Because we're
What happened
normal.
to tolerance?
Yeah,
Right.
he also handed out the social index wheel that we talked about earlier on, a worksheet which asks students to identify their race, gender, disabilities, economic status, and sexual orientation.
Why did you
Children.
think about it?
Yeah, it's part of the curriculum.
Why are we talking? Okay, I understand sex ed, but that's biology. But sexual orientation, that is nothing that you should be teaching children. Like, that's common sense.
Honestly,
Come on, y'all.
it's perverted.
Yeah, it is. And it's just another step towards
Pedophilia.
and sexualizing children.
It's not education, it's indoctrination.
Right, it's not education, it's indoctrination, and I'm waiting for bestiality. I mean, they've started talking about that a
That'll
little
be
bit.
maybe next month.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to start talking about your love is the whole term. Love is love can mean anything.
A lot of things.
Sister, brother, adult, child, woman, horse,
Animal, yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
this stuff sounds far-fetched, but just within the last 5 years, if somebody said men can menstruate, that was seen as crazy and obscene. Now, this is the going thing with AOC and these Democrats. This is who you guys vote for.
This is who you're voting for.
Yeah,
I
this is who
can't
you voting for.
imagine the people who fought for civil rights if they really thought that this is where it would end.